Welcome back to the channel. Jake Fine here with Thuzy Productions, where I'm going to say it again. We're enthusiastic about telling stories and helping you tell yours. Without further ado, let's see what Scott Kirkpatrick. Without further ado, let's see what Kirkpatrick. Without further ado, let's see what Scott Kirkpatrick has to say about pitching your film successfully.
How does someone get a pitch meeting at your company?
Well, DRG is a bit different, where, we're mostly co-producing with major networks or major production companies. So there's already kind of an established relationship there. And I guess that's sort of the key point in terms of how do you begin that process? How does one open the door to get that kind of open communication with an acquisitions team or development team? So not just a DRG, but any company, you kind of have to understand what that company wants, what they work with, what they like to, what genres of content they like to work with, getting a sense of like who their kind of key clients are. For instance, at DRG, we work a great deal with Netflix. We work a great deal with RLJ, Acorn. We work, there's specific networks that we have great relationships with. When I was at Mar Vista, we had great relationships with Lifetime, Disney, Nickelodeon. So at Mar Vista, we were producing content that was kind of catered towards those audiences. Ion Networks and a few others, and at DRG we have a different set of companies that we work closely with, that we just have a library of media that works well with those. So our acquisitions team has a different mandate than what the acquisitions team at Mar Vista had. And so if you're going to go into a company and attempt to build that kind of initial, let's see if some of my ideas are going to work well and we can get something going, you have to first understand what that company does, what it is they like to work with, what media they're actually in need of, and then the best way to get a pitch meeting is to poise your kind of introduction as a way of being able to serve their needs, to help them accomplish their content goals.
I'm going to tell two stories. One happened 2 weeks ago when I was in New York filming my most recent project, the Manimal documentary about a professional fighter out of New York City. I was at dinner with my family in New York. I have family who lives in New York. We were at dinner. I met my uncle's girlfriend's son, right? His name was Adam. He's a marketing guy. He's had a really successful career up to this point. Help marketing and selling advertising spots for a couple different companies. One was Spike TV, which owns Bellator, which has a lot to do with the film I'm making now. And also now he's with Tastemade, which is like some kind of food media company that has like studios all over the world and is huge on Instagram, has a bunch of followers and stuff. And I asked him for some advice on me getting my film to Netflix, because that's like a bucket list goal of mine, right? And especially for this film, that would be super cool. But he told me, like, you have to watch Netflix documentaries, which I do, and really pay attention to what they're putting out and what they're promoting, because that's how they're branding themselves in that space. So you have to make something that solves their problem of finding content like that. And then you kind of back engineer that. Once you do that, then you find people who are content acquisition managers at Netflix, and you start talking to them and you pitch your film, and there you go. But you're gonna have much more success if you make something specifically tailored for them, right? So I took that, and that was a great piece of advice. Now I'm gonna tell you my second story. So this was actually a year ago when I was just really getting into my freelance career. So I was introduced to this gym owner who has one of the most poppin' gyms in my city that's not like a box gym. So I live in Chicago. This gym called On Your Mark Studios. I go in there. I get to meet this lady who owns the gym. Her name's Emily Hutchins. She's a boss. I shoot a video at the gym because I was with somebody else. So I shoot a little bit of content and I give it to her. And luckily, she thought it was awesome. So I gave it to her. She posted it on her Instagram. Bada bing, bada boom. Cool. connection made, right? So we do a couple jobs after that. We do a couple like jobs, and they ended up being my biggest jobs to that point, right? Like payday wise, right? So that was cool. But I started thinking it would be really good for me if I was able to get her to agree to do this kind of monthly deal. So I started thinking, what kind of content would she need to help grow her audience, right? And how can I give her that? So instead of going in there and asking for a meeting and then asking her what I thought she needs, I went in there with a plan of exactly what I'm going to do for her to fulfill the needs that I see for her. Lo and behold, she agreed. She agreed to my price, and we're still working together 13 months later. I've doubled her following. We've launched an online subscription program where we put out 10 workout videos a month at around 30 minutes each, and people are paying for this for $45 a month. So a lot of success in that job, but it all started with me thinking about what that person, what that client needs. And that's what bred the successful relationship in a work sense. So I can own this clip right here with Scott talking about you need to go to these, have relationships with these companies and make content that they need so that they can go to you directly and to fulfill their needs. I can only back that up with truth because just because of those two stories right there. So I'm going to move on. I'm going to finish off this video. But first, if you want to join the Thusi movement, make sure you like, subscribe, and share with a friend, because all we're doing here is providing value for you guys. I'm trying to provide as much insight as I can. I'm trying to take these clips that I'm already watching just out of curiosity and trying to get better at my craft and hear from the experts. And I'm just going to give my 2 cents on it and hopefully provide you guys as much value as I can. So if you're into that and you want to support, make sure you subscribe, like the video, and help us grow by sharing. Without further ado, I'll see you guys in the next video. Thank you guys for watching these, and look out for more videos every single week, every single day. Peace out.